A very warm welcome to the top three qualifiers for the FIA Formula One Hungarian Grand Prix. In third place, Max Verstappen. In second place, Oscar Piastri, and taking his third pole position in Formula One and his second of this 2024 campaign, the pole sitter, Lando Norris. Lando, many congratulations. That was a difficult qualifying session to navigate. How satisfying is it to come away with pole position?
Always the pole positions are satisfying, I guess. So, yeah, good. I think great for us as a team. We're the first and a second. I don't know when we've last locked out a front row. But yeah, great one for the team and tricky conditions to do it in, especially. So, not easy, but always good fun around here. And same time, as much of the conditions are difficult, it's still fun out there. So, yeah, some nice laps, especially my Q3 lap. I only had one set of new tires. And we decided to put them on early, just in case the rain came, which it kind of didn't. But we're still a good enough lap to stay on pole, so happy with it.
McLaren's first front row lockout since 2012. Tell us a little bit more about grip levels. They seem to change from lap to lap. Just how difficult was it to find the limit without going over it?
Honestly, it wasn't too difficult, apart from, I think, when the rain started to come back at the end of Q1, I think it was. Yeah, before there was the crash. Like, that was the only time when I backed off probably a bit more just to be safe. And it's that time when you're like, do I push and take the risk or do I not? But apart from that, honestly, the track dried so quickly. So as soon as it stopped raining, it was perfect. And yeah, I could push. I mean, the grip was high comparing to yesterday. It was night and day. You know, it's like 2 seconds quicker. So it felt a lot better today in general. The car came alive a lot more today than it was yesterday as well. So I think maybe that played into our hands a little bit. And then tomorrow flips back to being pretty hot. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, let's throw it forward to tomorrow. How confident are you in the long run pace of the car?
As confident, I think, as we have been for a while. Like both quali and races, we've been strong. I think our bad one is still, it's been third or fourth, but our good ones have been chances to win. So definitely, once again, a good opportunity for that, for both of us and for us as a team to score some big points, and that's our target tomorrow.
And Lando, this is the first time you and Oscar have been on the front row together. What are the rules of engagement as you go down to turn one?
I mean, we'll get... We did have a front row somewhere, or we were just side by side at another time. Maybe Qatar, yeah. You're coming over the back of my car. That's not very nice. The Bottas.
That was Lando,
honestly, it's something we'll talk about, and the same as we've always done. We've always kept it clean. I think we've treated each other well and given each other respect, helped each other when we needed to. So, yeah, no worries from our part.
Right, look, very well done. Thank you, Oscar. Let's come to you now. Just a couple of hundredths off your teammate. You found a lot of time on that second run in Q3. Where did you find it?
Turn 4 in the first lap of Q3. I made a massive mistake of turn 4. Yeah, it was just a pretty poor lap, and yeah, the last lap was pretty solid. Of course, when you cross the line and see it's so close. Yeah, you think of all the little things you could have done better, but honestly, it was a solid lap. There's nothing I would massively change on it. So, no, pretty happy with it. Obviously, the car's been really quick this weekend, and good opportunity tomorrow.
And was it a smooth session for you through Q1, Q2?
Pretty smooth, yeah. I think the rain was a bit tricky at the start of Q1. Some of the curbs were a bit wet, and it was just enough rain that you couldn't actually improve. And then DRS got disabled, and then it was a bit of a weird session. And from that point on, it was relatively smooth. But yeah, not the easiest of conditions.
And Oscar, let's throw it forward. I mean, you had a slightly complicated day yesterday. Have you done all the prep you wanted to do ahead of the race?
Yes and no. I mean, I think FP1 was good. There was good learning in that yesterday. I think we're starting from a great position tomorrow. So, yeah, I think maybe not quite as much as I would have liked, but I would say 90% of it, let's say. So, no, feeling pretty confident for tomorrow, and let's see what we can do.
And Oscar, you've only done one Grand Prix at this racetrack before, but you've raced in other formulas around here. Just talk us through turn one. It's a very wide corner. Obviously, there's you and Lando, but how concerned are you about someone like Max coming behind you? Lots of different lines through that corner.
I don't think I've started this high up at Budapest before. It's obviously a long run to turn one, and it gives an opportunity for the slipstream behind. From starting fourth last year, I had a clean start and got to second. So I know that there's a lot that can happen at turn one. Bottas, as you mentioned. So let's see. I think get a good start, and that always helps things. But it is a long run, and there'll be other people involved, I'm sure.
All right. Best of luck tomorrow. Thanks for that. And Max, coming to you, just a tiny amount off pole position. First up, tell us about your fastest lap of Q3.
Yeah, it was all right, but not good enough. I mean, the whole weekend, just a little bit too slow. I mean, we tried to optimize everything, tried quite a few things actually with the car, and at the end, still too slow. So, that's what it is.
You were the first car to set a lap time in Q3. What were the pros and cons of that strategic call?
No, I think that was good, because the rain was coming in, like little drizzles. So I thought it was good that we went out first. So yeah, that was all good.
You've said that you're lacking to the McLarens a little bit this weekend, but you are running a lot of new bits on the car. What feedback are you getting from it? What feeling are you getting inside the car?
For sure they work, but we're still not first, right? So we need more. It's as simple as that. I mean, I think looking back at my qualifying, I was very happy with the laps, but balance-wise, everything is really on the edge. I'm pushing as hard as I can, and then of course you have little moments here and there. I feel like I probably push harder than I did last year, but it's just not coming anymore. To have these like great lap times. So that I guess it just means that we are a bit slower. So we have work to do. So simple as that.
What's your approach going into this race? How do you beat these guys?
I don't know at the moment. But what can I do? I mean, we'll try the very best. Try to have a good, stable balance with the car. And I hope if I find that I can follow them. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, my long runs have been okay, but nothing fantastic or special. I think it's better to be realistic than sitting here and spreading false hope. But we'll see tomorrow. I mean, that's what it is.
Thank you for that. All right, let's open this to the floor. As ever, name and publication, please. First one.
Alex Kalinauckas, Autosport. Question to Lando, please. Just about the tactics at the very end of Q3 after the red flag. You were sat at the end of the pit lane for quite a long time. Sort of, what was that all about? Was it more about defending pole position in a way, or was there the possibility of any more time from those tyres? Thanks.
A little bit of both. I still wanted to, just in case any hope was there, but I didn't really expect it to. And it's just, you just want to be in the running in case something else happened. But I don't think many people expected. Like, we're all on old tires. I don't think anyone expected to go quicker, but it was just be there if we needed to be. That was all.
Thanks, Lando. All right, next one.
Heikki Kulta, Turun Sanomat. Max, hello. The whole Finland has been missing Kimi for the last 3 seasons. When you started to get podiums, Kimi was quite often your main competitor. Have you been missing him at all?
Well, I think it's more important if he misses it. I don't think he does, so who cares, right? I like Kimi. He's a great guy, but I'm also happy for him now that he's busy with his son go-karting, trying to bring up a new Raikkonen. It's great. I mean, he has done his career in Formula One. Now it's time for the young one, time to spend time with his family as well. And spend more time on the go-kart track. So I think he's all right. We don't need to worry about him.
Thanks, Max. All right, next one.
Christian Minat, Motorsport Magazine.com. Questions for Lando over here. You only had one set of fresh soft tires in Q3. Where did you lose the extra set and why? And how much was the extra pressure just having one proper shot?
We lost it in Q2 just because my first lap on the used tire wasn't good enough. I did almost 3/4 of a lap on a new tire at the end of Q1, so I'll probably say that's where we messed it up. We were a bit silly, I think, and we went out on a new tire at the end of Q1 just to be safe. But we were safe anyway, so we boxed, and I did pretty much a whole lap on a new tire, which meant my lap in Q2 on a pretty much full lap used was never going to be fantastic comparing to others on a new. Which meant I had to put another set of new on for Q2 run 2, and I lost it there. So, yeah, I mean, after what happened, and as in hindsight, I would say I'm not going to complain about it, but I should have had 2 sets coming into Q3. Obviously, it's worked out, but if it didn't work out for whatever reason and I made a mistake on my first lap, I would have been a bit more unhappy, the fact I didn't have 2 sets for Q3. So, yeah, something we'll review.
Thank you. Next one.
Andrew Benson, BBC Sport. Max, you got out of the car at the end, and so did Fernando. And apparently Fernando did it because he was told to, because they'd closed the pit lane and then reopened it. Is that what happened to you? And to all 3 of you, do any of you know what happened in that situation?
No, I didn't want to drive anymore. I had no tires, so they were used. So I was never going to improve. So there was no point for me to be on in the pit lane waiting.
What info were you getting, Lando?
Just it was going to go green at some point. So, like we do in every single run, you always wait at the end of the pit lane sometimes, and yeah, nothing extraordinary. It's just normal. It's just didn't want to be at the back, and in case someone had a slightly fresher tire and whatever didn't manage to complete the lap before, maybe they had a fresh tire. That strategically you want to be at the front and not give them a chance.
All right, next one.
Phil Duncan, PA. Lando, you've obviously had a number of near misses in recent races. How vital is it that you convert this pole into a victory, and also how vital is it for you that you beat Max and lay down a bit of a championship marker?
I mean, I don't think it's like important. Every single quali is important. Every race is important. So it's not all of a sudden I need to do it and I need to prove my point. I don't. We've done the best we could in every race. I think we've shown great pace and great opportunities, and I know we've missed out on some. Like we don't need to get back into all of that stuff. But I mean, I would love to have a clean, strong weekend. From yesterday already, we were very strong in the beginning in FP2, FP3 qualies now. So it would be nice, just to have a nice turn 1 and see what happens from there. But I'm not expecting it. I'm expecting still a difficult race with Oscar and Max behind. But everyone's important. Every time we're trying to maximize every place, every point. The more we can try to get back on Max, the more we can, as a team, can get on Red Bull and other constructors, the better. So no point or emphasis on trying to be the particular someone or something. It's just go out and do what we do because we're doing a good job.
Thank you. Another one. Yep.
Ed Straw, the race, one for Max. It's been clear that obviously this car, the direction the Red Bull's gone, it's got quite a narrow window. It's quite tricky to get the best out of it. Given that you're up against a car that seems to be becoming quite an all-rounder, how concerned are you that direction could really limit you consistently to being in this sort of position, because it's so hard to extract that pace, and even if you execute superbly, too often it's going to be the wrong side of this kind of narrow gap?
It's been like that already for a while, so we are well aware of that. We are pushing as hard as we can, but clearly, at the moment it's still not how we want it to be. We'll continue to do so. We'll try to find more performance, but I'm also well aware that that's not, very easy to find suddenly throughout the season with things already just, planned and just the way the car is. But we'll see. I mean, there are many races. There are a lot of things that can happen, in qualifying with conditions, stuff like that. So we just need to stay focused and do the best we can every single time and optimize our performances.
Thank you. Any more? Yes.
Ronald Vodding, motorsport.com. It's a follow-up to that for Max. How was the car feeling today with the upgrade packages, just balance-wise? Because you said on Thursday that the Red Bull car for weeks now is tricky to drive. The team says that's also something they want to address with the upgrades this weekend. So did you feel any difference at all in that regard?
No, it's similar. Yep.
Okay. Another one? Yep.
Carlo Platella, Formula Passion. Question for Max. At the start of Q3, JP said, make that lack of toe count. What he was referring to?
I was the first car on track, so naturally, you don't have the effect of the wind around the track. But I think it's fine, to be first on track. You have a clear track in front of you. Of course, maybe I had one or two cars that I had to go to in my fast lap, but overall, I think it was the right call.
Thank you. Yep.
Joel Godina from Világ.hu. A question to all of you, please. Can you please tell me how did the changes in the weather conditions since yesterday influence your car performance, and what are your expectations for tomorrow in terms of the weather and tire degradation?
Lando, let's start with
you. It's tough. I mean, clearly in terms of lap times, you've gone 2 seconds quicker than yesterday. So the temperatures make a big difference. The tires just work better, pretty much. I mean, aero works slightly better, but the tires just give you a lot more grip in these conditions comparing to yesterday. Obviously, that flips again tomorrow, so lap times and degradation will probably increase again. It's hard to say what it's done exactly to the car. I'd say maybe the balance came together a little bit. As the grip comes up, the balance improves slightly, and I think starts to maybe improve a little bit of some of our weaknesses. And I think maybe that's why our performance today was fractionally better than what it was yesterday, I would say. But when I say that, I mean maybe half a tenth or something. But when you look at the times, half a tenth is all you need. So, difficult to give an exact answer, but the car works better, the grip comes together, the car balance is more well balanced throughout the whole lap, and that's always a good feeling.
I don't really have much else to add. Pretty much exactly the same thing. I mean, it definitely feels nicer to drive when you're 2.5 seconds a lap faster than yesterday. I mean, yesterday was quite tricky trying to manage the tires. Even over one lap. You can destroy them in basically, or could have destroyed them basically in half a lap. Today was a little bit more forgiving, let's say. But tomorrow I think it's going to be much more like yesterday in terms of weather. So changes the game a little bit.
Same, yeah, I agree.
All right. Yes, another one, please.
Frederik Hackbart, motorsporttotal.com. Max, can we have a word on Checo, because he seems to struggle a lot at the moment under a lot of pressure. Do you feel for him seeing him out so early today again? And also from a personal point, you have got quite a strong opposition now with McLaren, always up against like two cars. How much do you miss a strong teammate at the moment?
I don't think we need to go into too much detail about that. It's just a shame for Checo also himself, that happened in Q1, because I thought up until that point actually he was having quite a decent weekend. Just very unfortunate. That's the only thing that I want to say about that.
All right, thank you, Max. Yes, another one.
Alex Kalinauckas, Autosport. Question to Max, please. Just about as you crossed the line on your Q3 run before the red flag, what was your reaction? You seemed to be banging the steering wheel a little bit. What were you thinking at that point? Thanks.
I'm not allowed to be frustrated. Yeah, that's what happened.
Thanks, Max. Yes, another one.
No.
Christian Mehnert, motorsportmagazin.com. Another one for you, Max. Yesterday it sounded like you wanted to save one set of the hard tires for the race. You used the set today in FP3. What was behind that?
Just a different strategy to how others use their tires throughout the weekend, probably. And yeah, we decided to then use the hard tire in FP3 to get rid of it and keep the tires for the race how we wanted it. I think it's fairly similar to a few teams around. Some opt to have a hard, whatever, but I guess we'll see tomorrow what is the right call. We feel that is the right way, but we'll see tomorrow.
Thank you. Any more? No more. We'll leave it there. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.